Greetings, everyone. Good morning. How's everybody doing today? Happy Thursday. There's my kitty. She's chilling out. Good morning. Good morning. I wanted to come in and talk. We have the Cancer full moon coming in tomorrow, and the Cancer full moon is, it's it's significant to everything, right? Cancer rules the moon. The moon is coming in. Good morning, Quasi. The Cancer moon comes in a moon hour, and Cancer is where we create home within ourselves, where we are able to honor. First of all, it's about honoring our lineage, but it's about creating home and understanding that this reality is a as above, so below kind of experience. And Cancer is, how do you create home within yourself? How do you do the work to trust your inner power? How do you nourish yourself? How do you nourish and support your creativity, right? Like, it's Cancer is our ability to create something inside of ourselves that we then will materialize in the external world. And as we are now at the beginning of a cycle, we are truly at the beginning of a cycle, and because Jupiter has moved into Aries, it's finished its retrograde and it's in Aries. And so the thing that we get to do is we get to name ourselves, we get to create ourselves, and we get to be who we say we are. Mercury is retrograde in Capricorn, which is about your mental authority. And the thing that's the opportunity that we have in our life right now as earthlings, as humans, is we have an opportunity to create ourselves as we desire to be, because the energy on the planet is different than it's ever been. But it requires that we devote ourselves to practices and ways of being and rituals that will help us develop a new mindset. This work right now on the planet is first and foremost about having a new mind and understanding that nothing has authority over you. I feel like one of the greatest challenges that we have, that I see, is that our minds are synced into limited thinking. Like, one of the fascinating things about America is that it's all anchored, like you guys have heard me say, it's all anchored in whiteness and white supremacy, but the narratives that come out of these, white supremacy, is all scarcity. It's all scarcity and competition and fear and not enough and shadow stuff. Like, there isn't an aspect of our culture that is really inspiring and progressive and using the energy to alchemize and transmute and move ourselves forward. This American system that we're in, it's stuck in an outdated paradigm of not having enough and not having power and giving your authority over to others. And that system is drastically outdated now, and it is rapidly dying. So what we have this opportunity to do is to step into our own authority. Literally, you have a blank canvas. You literally have a blank canvas. Nothing can stop you from what it is that you want to do. And we have to train ourselves not to be thinking things like, for me, I'll be like, oh, I need to have more money. I'll do this when I have more money. I'll do this when I have more of this. And I do. No, we are the generators. You have to live into it like you already have it, like it's already done, because there's nothing new under the universe. Everything here, everything that we're thinking has already been actualized in our subconscious, in our spiritual self. So we don't have to really figure out how we're going to fulfill what we're here to fulfill this lifetime, because it's already been done. If you just get in the act of fulfilling it, if you just get in the practice of doing what you're here to do and being who you're here to be, the things that you need and desire will show up, because your soul has already contracted your time on this planet at this time. And this is the thing that's challenging for me, is because we live in this world that's anchored in white supremacy, and you have to understand that white supremacy and whiteness isn't connected to the solar system because they can't connect to the sun. So many of us have adopted those thoughts and ways of being, of scarcity and fear and not having enough, and somebody's gonna get me, and there's a disease. Like, we've adopted that because that is the nature of whiteness. It is anchored in fear. It is solidly rooted in separation from the divine. The mindset is what I'm saying. The mind is like, if I do this, something is wrong. People are not going to like me. There's a constant thread of externalizing our power due to white supremacy and competition and fear of not having enough resources. But that is not how this reality really works, you guys. So I'm saying you have to take it upon yourself to be highly devoted to anchoring in a mindset that puts you in the driver's seat, that dissolves those old ideas and beliefs and perspectives that someone has power over you. The age of Aquarius means that no one has power over you except that you think they do. And when we think that someone has power over us, when we think that we are not enough, when we think that, there's scarcity or there's something out to get us, it is the thoughts that then generate the actual experience. Like I say all the time, I watch women do it all the time. I watch myself do it. A woman will meet somebody and she'll be like, he is so great. But because there is a current of doubt that runs through her about that person, and she thinks, when is this going to end? It will end, and it must end because she has seeded the thought that it has to. And that is the thing that we have to understand, our power. We can't be afraid of the power. You can't be afraid that you can speak things into existence. You can't be afraid that you can think a thought enough times and it's going to come. You can't be afraid of it, but you can begin to orient yourself to use your thoughts, use your mental body in ways that uplift you, inspire you, encourage you, and begin to flower you into a new way of being. And you have to be consistent in that. That's why now it's winter time. And while we're in winter, this is the time for us to go deep into ourselves and begin to reorient our energies during winter. You can't do this during spring. The energy is not available during spring. You can't do this during summer. The energy is not available during summer. You begin to do the reseeding and the reorienting of your consciousness during winter, when the earth is slow, when the cold is here, when you can begin to give yourself a new way of thinking. Women worry a lot. I had to change my thinking a lot because my grandma was a worrier. Yes, absolutely. It's generational. It's generational in the feminine. And the thing that's so important for us to understand with women, being a woman, is that our power is subconscious. Our power is subconscious. subconscious as women. Generally, we're masculine and feminine, so our power is not just subconscious. But, for me, like, I am a woman and I have a Virgo sun, which is a feminine energy. I have a Pisces rising, which is a feminine energy, but I have a Gemini moon, which is a masculine energy, but in a feminine frequency, the moon. So all of my energy is mostly feminine. And so that means that my subconscious is very powerful, meaning I can project things and they happen. I'm highly intuitive. I'm highly psychic. I can speak things and they come into existence. This is, as women, we have to understand how our power works, because when we worry and fear and doubt, we're sending out a frequency of energy telling the universe what we want to happen. So if you're worrying, you are creating that frequency in your body that then has to materialize in your 3D reality. If you are gossiping, if you are in fear and all of that, you're creating it. Now, I'm not saying this so that you resist these energies. You're not here to resist these energies, but you're here to learn to alchemize them and be present with them so that you can gain power over them, so that you are not subject to them. And this is the work of the feminine, the ability to be able to understand our connection from the inside, as above, so below. So as women, we build things in our bodies because we are internally strong. We are internally, our inner strength is greater. Men are externally strong, so they build things externally, right? So we have to understand, but every man came from a woman. A woman built every man's body. So we build men and men build the external world. So the external world comes from us because a man comes from a woman. You got to really understand the math of this reality so that you understand where your power really lies. As a woman, generally, our power lies in our imagination. Our power lies in the conversations that we're telling ourselves. Our power lies in our feelings. How we feel is where our power is anchored. So it's what are the words you're telling yourself? What are you speaking to yourself? How are you encouraging yourself? How are you inspiring yourself? How do you relate to your body? That's right. How are you relating to your body? Do you love your body? Do you speak negatively about your body? Do you have negative thoughts about your body? How are you relating to your vessel? And all of that is our power. And this full moon in Cancer is going to bring this power, this feminine power, front and center. And what we're here to do right now is we're here to build our own reality, you guys. So I hope that you guys have been doing the work to construct your own reality, harnessing your gifts, strengthening your talents, understanding your intuition, nurturing yourself, healing yourself. All of this is very significant. And I hope this is what you guys have been doing, because now the energy is about to really quicken. So I've been having these conversations for years, right? So now the conversations that I've been having up till now were to prepare us for this time. All the conversations, if you guys go look, I think I have 800 videos, right? All those videos, all those blogs to prepare us for this time. You should do this. Here's how the energy is working. This is what the energy is doing. This is create, let go of the past, right? All of this. And so in my own life, I have been working to heal my relationship to America, heal my relationship to my family lineage and the karma that I come from, and seeing it clearly, looking at my shadow and understanding that, I've carried a deep shadow of powerlessness, being afraid of my own power and afraid to use it because I felt like if I used it, it was going to be harming myself or someone else. So I had to do the work to heal that. I had to do the work to realign that. I had to use the rituals. And that's why I teach the classes, the Saturn retrograde class, the Uranus retrograde class, the Neptune retrograde class, so that we're not afraid of our subconscious power, so that we understand how it works. Now I can, have a thought and I can think something, and the next minute I think it's happening because I have cleared out those blocks that would have me stuck in patterns of feeling like something is out to get me, feeling like, I can't have my way, feeling like, other people have more than me because whatever it is, right? Clearing out all those narratives. Because as above, I need to make sure that my energy is organized internally, because this Cancer full moon, between Cancer full moon, Leo, and Virgo, whatever we have been focusing on for the last 2.5 years, whatever we have been focusing on is what we have been creating. And now that reality is starting to come into existence. It's literally like you're going to push out a reality. So if you've been growing a business, healing your body, healing your relationship with your family, healing your relationship to the masculine or the feminine, all of those results are now going to begin to materialize. And so if you've not been doing that work, I suggest that you do. I suggest that you start, because we're starting a new cycle. So if you start to do the work now, then as the next cycle comes in, so we're starting a new 12-year cycle. So you want to begin to do this work now. And here's what I'll say. Like, I'm in my 50s, I'm 54. And when I was in my 20s, I wanted everything fast. I wanted everything now. I didn't understand that this is really a long game. I didn't get it. So all you have to do is stay present with your work. Some of us are not meant to really have the success that we deeply feel within us until we fully alchemized and accessed our gifts and abilities. And that takes time. That takes time. And it's also important for us to recognize that money is not a real symbol of success. So just because, don't book your energy on money. Book your energy on what you are capable of. Like value what you can do more than valuing how much money you have. Value your gifts and your powers and your potential and your creativity, and value that, because that is the real value. And one of the things that has really helped me understand this is because, like I've said 1,000 times, I have studied slavery back and forth and up and down. I had to, because I needed to really understand. And the thing that's important that has helped me is that we are in the dark ages. That we are in the last of the dark ages, with the Indian culture calls Kali Yuga, in the Vedic culture, Kali Yuga. It's the dark ages. That's why we have classism, sexism, racism, wars. This is the dark ages. So nothing is wrong. We don't like it. We don't like it. I understand it doesn't feel good, but this is the evidence of the dark ages. This is how it is, okay? Now, because we're born in the dark ages, we are here to transmute the darkness into light. That's why you came. That's why you're born now, to transmit the darkness of what your life is, what your family came from, all that, to transmute it into light. This is how we get out of the dark ages and into the light ages. We need us to begin to wake up and realize oh, this worrying, this competition, this fearfulness, this, not having sacred practice, this, not honoring my body is dark age behavior. This eating foods that are not good and, being disconnected. This is dark age behavior. How do I transmute this behavior? These thoughts of harming another or not having enough or being worried, these are dark ages. This is a dark age mindset. How do I transmute this dark age mindset? This is what we're here to do, y'all. It ain't going nowhere. It can only transmute through you. You can't change it externally. When you change it from the inside, it'll change externally. That's how it works. That's the power of the feminine. We fix it within ourselves. We reorient it internally, and then it changes externally. That's the only way to do it. That is the only. And let me tell you, I have tried all the other ways, and I thought that there is no other way. You must change it inside of yourself. And you can, because we are an electrical system that allows us to transmute energy. That's what we are here to do. Now, we have been taught that that's not true. We've been taught that we need Jesus, that we need more money, that we need... no, you don't need any of that. All you need to do is to be able to feel your own feelings. Feel your feelings and name them something else. Feel pain and name it love. Feel separation and name it peace. Feel lack and scarcity and name it wellness. Feel it and name it something else, because in your naming it of something else, it will change into something else. That is the ability and the power, especially for melanated beings. We have this incredible current of electricity that runs through us that is allowing us to change reality if we are capable and willing to hold. You can't run from it. If it's uncomfortable, you can't be mad at it being uncomfortable. You have to be willing to be with the discomfort and alchemize it, move it into something else. It's just like having sex. That's all it is, right? Like you warm the body up and the body begins to generate pleasure. So you take an experience that is uncomfortable or painful and you begin to warm yourself up around it by thinking new thoughts about it, by having new feelings, and then it will alchemize itself. You transmute it. Everything in this reality is sex, y'all. Everything in this reality is this. I mean, when I was little, we used to be like, you want to do it? Right? But everything here is sex. And that's all it is. You are experiencing the energy. The energy is moving into you. That's a sensual sexual experience. You feel it, right? It feels good or it doesn't feel good. And you want to begin to lubricate your consciousness around it so that you're not resisting it, so that you can transmute it from one form into another. That's it. That's all it is. Now, the beautiful thing is that I have discovered is that when you use the retrogrades to do it, you literally are tapping into nature's flow. So right now we have Mercury in retrograde in Capricorn. So now is the time for us to be transmuting the energy of not having any authority into having authority. You can see it in your relationships. Whatever's going on in your relationships right now, are you having power struggles or people where you're not getting along and, where the energy doesn't feel good any longer? That's because relationships are changing. And the South Node moving through Scorpio is asking us to reorient the way we share power with others, especially in our sexual romantic relationships and money, where we have money stuff going on. I'm sorry. I want you to stop, kitty cat. But also the South Node in May is going into Libra. So I really pray that you guys are doing the work on your relationships, because people have been going through profound breakups and It's just because the energy in the relationship is oriented incorrectly. Like, you can't be with somebody because you think they make your life better. And, like, you have to be in relationships in ways that are congruent for your codes. If you're with people, like, I know people are like, I don't want to die alone. That's not a good reason to be in a relationship. I know people are like, I don't want to have to work, so he makes the money. Those reasons won't be sustainable, is what I'm saying. The reasons that you are in relationships now have to be anchored in something that is genuine and sustainable. Equanimity, like, you can't be, one person is not more powerful than the other. There has to be equanimity in all of your relations. Even with the people that you work with and work for, you cannot think that somebody has more power than you, because that is going to bite you in the butt. A friend's wife woke up on the first day and threw his ass out. Yes, that's right. It's really like all of the codes are changing. The things that we can't see with our visible eyes, which is that this is an energetic system. The energetic systems are changing because the American Western ideals are dying. So we have had, all of our relationships are predatory because, we have an idea that women can't own their bodies, and that women, so all of these systems have to die. And the ways that we are participating in them become really exaggerated in our lives so that we can begin to free ourselves from them. And it's just a matter of beginning to make the choices, doing the rituals, get a reading, understand your relationships, how they best work, how they don't work, and begin to do. You have to change, though. You can't stay the same. It must become different. This South Node in Scorpio is really cleaning out, and it's going to go into Libra. And so when the South Node goes into Libra, Lord have mercy, it's going to be a completely different thing. I want to be with someone where I know we can grow together and add value to each other's lives. Then are you growing in your own life? Are you already growing? Are you already doing by yourself what you think you want to do with someone else? Because if you're not, then you're lying. Whatever it is you think you want with somebody else, if you are not already doing that, then you're waiting. You're externalizing your power. You cannot externalize your power. You have to get into the frequency. Then if you're doing it, fantastic. So just be true to yourself, no matter if somebody is there or not. Be true to yourself fully, no matter if someone is there or not. How will the South Node in Libra differ? The South Node in Libra, so the South Node in Scorpio, you see all the South Node in Scorpio has been all these revelations, all these secrets, all these hidden things, all these shadows coming up, relationships breaking up and all this sort of stuff. A lot of people have died. There's been a lot of death with the South Node in Scorpio. With Libra, it's going to be about justice. So Libra is about justice and balance. So it's really, the South Node in Libra is going to peel away the ways that we hide out, and the ways that we hide out from being true to ourselves that allow us to live the life that we're meant to live. It's like Libra governs the earth realm. Libra is about partnership and relationship, but it's about how you show up with the other. It's not about the other, because we have to remember that the other is a mirror of us. So when the South Node comes into Libra, we're going to begin to see all of the relationship and how everything in life is going to mirror back to you who you are. So just make sure you're in integrity with yourself. Just make sure that you are being who you are meant to be, and you'll be fine. How can you get to those areas that are difficult to see so you can grow. Come take my classes. This is what I teach in my classes. How you can get to those areas by taking the classes that I teach. I mean, that's the best way. That's why I use astrology, so you can see. Like recently, I discovered that my Mars is in Leo, but it's in an inconjunct to my ascendant. So because of that, I've had a really hard time being truly true to myself, really true to myself. But it was in my astrology that I was able to see that. I knew that I was having that problem, but I didn't know why. And when I saw it in my astrology, I was like, oh, now I can do the rituals and do the work to transmute it, because your astrology isn't stuck. Your astrology is just a map to show you how to get to your highest self. So now I know, since I use my astrology, and Mars is in retrograde right now. And so while Mars is in retrograde in Gemini, I'm doing the work to recode my Mars. The universe gives us everything we need. We always have everything we need. And so that's how we work it out. A verbally abusive dynamic in the apartment above me had enough of their shit, was hoping for months they would separate, was hard to listen to them for them. They split. Yes, that's right. I have the South Node in Libra and the North Node in Aries. I have the South Node in Libra too, and the North Node in Aries. Which houses do you have it in? I have the South Node in Libra in the 7th house and the North Node in Libra in the first house. So that means for those of us who have the South Node in Libra, next year when the South Node goes into Libra, we are going to be clearing out the remainder of those patterns, the way we relate. Like really, it's about really having confidence. It's like, when they say the first will be last and the last will be first, this is it, right? Because people who have the South Node in Libra have been servants to others. Our lives have been really about other people and making other people comfortable, which was great. I loved it. But people who have the North Node in Aries, which we do, now our lives is going to be about us and us fulfilling our potential and our power and really showing up in the way that only we can. So, all right, you guys, this is really beautiful. I invite you to join Follow the Sun. That's where I do these morning videos. I do them every day. Every day I'm still doing the morning videos there. And the people in the community that I serve, their lives are changing and flourishing because the work that we do is about transformation and alchemy and really stepping into who we are, especially for those who want to harness their feminine energy and use it in alignment. And that can be a man or a woman, because we both have feminine and masculine energy. So you can join in my link tree. I don't have any classes that are starting right now, but I have the new moon, full moon, and first quarter moon groups, and each group is designed to, so if you're in the new moon group is just the daily videos where you are getting yourself ready to, you're preparing for your growth. The first quarter moon group is the group where we do the new moon rituals and the practices to help you begin your spiritual growth. And then the full moon group is where we do the new moon and the full moon practices, and we harness our energy alignment to wherever the sun is, and we do the practices to honor the energy of the sun. So for instance, this month the sun is in Capricorn, so we're doing the energy we're doing the rituals and the practices to honor our discipline so that we can begin to have discipline in our lives, to honor our integrity, to be in integrity, to honor our skeletons, our bodies, because you want to honor and acknowledge the parts of yourself. We all have every sign inside of us. Everybody has everything. So wherever the sun is, you want to honor that, because then that renews you in that area of your life. And every year you need to be renewed. That's why the sun comes back to wherever it is at that, so that you can be renewed. So If you're ready to do the work and invest in yourself, come join me at Follow the Sun. Peace and blessings. Have a beautiful day. Bye-bye.